one for you.
Are live. Where's it gonna pop out on? Boom. Boom. Here. Got it.
I just got the notification.
Got it.
Pop chat out.
Popping in the chat out.
The
We're
chat
live.
out.
Thank you guys for coming back and hanging out with us tonight. Brandon Power Stroke, sorry for the lateness here. We were having a couple of technical difficulties. And look at Ford Boss Me down there in the corner.
Just working.
Just working. Where is my freaking chat? There he is. Right, Diesel, Mobile Magic, Lewis, David, what is up, everybody? Oh, welcome back. We have Andrew, one of our channel members tonight. I had a community post for the channel members if anybody was going to be around, if they'd like to get on the live stream with us tonight. And he was the first one who came through. So we want to welcome him. He's rocking a Super Duty down in the Floridians. And look at our little happy guy down here in the right corner, Ford Boss Me. He's actually at work. And we were actually talking about the interesting specimen he has behind him and what's going on with that, what he's doing to that and the vehicle next to him. We have just some things we're going to talk about. What I have going on in the shop. If you guys were able to see Ford Boss Me's video earlier today about the Ansel tester, make sure to check that out. I had actually had one of their scan tools in my possession, but wound up sending it back. The 9-pin adapter thing wasn't working very well for my medium duty application, so I think the one he had was a little bit better suited for our smaller duty needs. So, guys checking us out.
Where is Andrew at in Florida? Everyone's asking.
Oh, really?
Tallahassee?
Vince, what's up?
That's a long way for me.
That's funny. This video brought to you today by Milwaukee. Fred says, what up, Rich? Go home already.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take a day off. I don't know if I'm going to take a day off tomorrow or Thursday. So I figured why not just work and have the background, and while I'm on here talking to you fine fellas, be doing
That's
some
good. That's good stuff. What up, Raylan? What up? How's that tremor, man?
It's good. I haven't really driven it too much though.
Oh, okay.
It's been working, so it's kind of like, you know.
Word. Let's see here. Thumbs up. Tallahassee's almost New York. What up? Yes, I'd use Milwaukee's grease gun all the time. It works very nice. Works very well. One of the questions I want to ask, and I guess maybe the title is going to give it away, is for all of the technicians out there, all of the automobile repairing gentlemen and ladies, we have a couple of different ways. Well, I guess a few different ways, I guess, if you want to consider the third one, that we can get paid to do our job. And we either can be flat rate, which if you guys don't know, real quick, flat rate is a preset time that the vehicle manufacturer or Part manufacturer is going to say it is going to be to install this said part, more of the manufacturer of the vehicle. For instance, right now, Ford is going to pay Mr. Rich here, Uncle Richie, 2/10 to replace that oil filter. Now, if it takes Uncle Richie 6/10 to replace that oil filter, he's getting paid 2/10. If he takes him 1/10, he's getting paid for 2. So you can kind of get the gist of it. If you beat the time and get the job done correctly and right, you're going to make money. If you dilly-dally and have unforeseen circumstances arise during your repair, well, buddy, some people cuss, some people throw tools, some people can just deal with it. That is pretty much how it goes sometimes. The other aspect is being hourly. And hourly, you clock in and you clock out for lunch, and then you clock back in, and then you clock back out. And it doesn't matter how many hours you turn, you are hourly. So you're getting paid for the time you're there. I guess if you're are a sandbagger, then maybe hourly is more better suited for you. If you're a hustler, if you are on top of your workload, if you're efficient, efficiency is key when you're flat rate, then maybe flat rate would be better suited for you. The other tier or other way we can get paid is being on a team. And I guess you could be hourly and or flat rate for that. I was able to be in that situation for a little bit. I didn't really care for it too much. It requires both individuals on the team to be equal. Like you can't have like this because the money coming out of the pot's not going to be fair, vice versa. So not really cool with that. But out of the people that are listening, out of the people that are listening on their way to work, or if you're at work, think about it really quick. How would you want to be paid if you were working on vehicles? With those scenarios that were given, out of those two, forget the team. How are you paid? Are you flat rate? Are you hourly? And I know a lot of customers don't agree with flat rate, or why there's a set time for something. Rich has probably experienced this, customers saying, well, hey, if this took you a half hour to do it, why are you charging me an hour's worth of time? And it's hard to make a customer understand that aspect, but the deal is, there are manuals and there are service labor times that either Ford sets out, or Mitchell on Demand, Pro Demand, All Data. Oh, what's another one, Rich? All Data. What's the other one?
Well, the only ones I know are Mitchell and All Data is the only ones I know.
Is that, yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. And they all have set times that that sets the labor time standard for X part. It's going to be 2 hours to remove this part. It's going to be 3 hours to remove this part. And that's how, being a flat rate technician, you can make money doing repetitive things, and you get better and faster. And if I were to take a turbo off 20 years ago, I mean, it probably is going to take me a day, maybe more. I don't know. When I think back of doing my first EGI cooler, like on the Transits, It took me a day and a half to do. Now you guys all no, maybe not all you guys, but you guys know what those pay. And right off the rip, the first one, I mean, that's dude, this sucked. But now, 50 of them later, I mean, we find better ways to hold the tool, find better tools. Um, having this platform to be able to talk to you guys. Um, a lot of people have reached out via email in the comment section and say, hey, man, you got to check this out. I do it way differently. And, I use this setup to get the back bolt or whatever. It's a learning experience, and obviously doing things for the first time is going to suck for everything, but people are here to offer some tips and tricks, as I do. Let's see here. If you take out the boss, I'm flat rate with a salary for training. Okay. Oh, the welcome new people. 61. Oh, okay. Some weeks I wish I was hourly. So I'm glad I'm flat rate. It's a roller coaster. That's the best description of the flat rate life. Is a roller coaster. You ride that wave, and then right now, I'm in the valley right now. Just didn't have a good day yesterday. Didn't have a good day today. Just trying not to resist the universe. Just letting it flow. I find the more that I resist it, the more angrier I get. And I just have to learn to stop resisting it and just freaking let it flow, man. It's so hard to do it, but it's the choice that I have made, and it's not always going to continue to be like this. I just gotta get past this valley, get on that uptrend, and freaking do it all over again. It gets annoying sometimes, but sometimes, as an example with what Rich is working on right here. So he's got an F-150 that he's got to figure out why it has oil consumption. This thing's got 30,000 miles on it, and luckily he's dealing with a customer. For one, is actually a subscriber who's reached out to him and has driven over an hour and a half away for him to come to his shop, his shop, and help figure out why this truck is eating oil. Now, there's no computer that we're going to hook up that's going to tell us why this is happening. This is going to have to be, some diagnosis, maybe even some tear down, maybe some hard mechanical test, compression test, a cylinder leak down test, oil pressure test. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going to need to be done to determine why a vehicle is going to be using oil, and the variables that are going to affect our flat rate ability, that flow, is dealing with instances like this scenario he's got. He's got a customer, for one, that's going to be understanding, has written up a very detailed little paper explaining exactly what's going on with the vehicle, what to expect, and that makes our job that much easier. Any variable that we can have, that we can try to paint the picture on why this is happening, when this is happening. It's all the information we need to fix your vehicle is going to make us want to go up on that uptrend, because we don't get paid until the job's done. So our ultimate goal is to get that vehicle fixed back on the road in a timely manner, fix it right the first time, communicate to the customer, and do it. Frickin' do it.
This guy's only owned this truck for about 5,000 miles, and he's already put 4.5 quarts of oil in it. And I was explaining to him, I'm going to try to be as thorough as I can, but at the same time, he's offered out and he's He knows how it is with warranty. He's been watching the channel long enough. He knows that we're not going to get paid for everything that we do. And he's a customer that really, really understands. And he said, I want you to do a good job. It saddens me basically that you techs get screwed like you guys do sometimes. And whatever it takes outside of, your warranty pay, I'll kick in and I'll pay that. I want you to do a good job. I don't want you guys to get screwed over. Your time is valuable to me, and anything that you feel like you need to do, just go ahead and do it. Whatever warranty doesn't pay, I'll pay, and I trust you because I see your work, I see your guys' work, and it's sad because we have customers having to step in where a lot of times warranty won't, and we don't get accommodated for that. And that's one of the things that Fred talks about all the time. Kind of stuff that he kind of was tired of. That's not the customer's responsibility to do that, but they see what we have to go through and stuff. And luckily I have somebody like him in my corner that understands any extra work outside of what warranty will cover. He's willing to take care of, but not every customer is like that. Sometimes we go through those hardships of having to eat that time, and if you're not hourly, you get screwed. And even when you are hourly, you have to justify the time that you're having on the job, and your efficiency goes down. If warranty's not paying the company back for the time that they're paying you, they're going to start asking questions why.
It's that dealing with the conditions of the vehicle. Like just today, was working with the kid outside. Luckily, we have one day this week, literally 8 hours of time where it's going to be in the 60s in almost mid-November here in the Detroit region. We did 2 vehicles outside, rolled the cart outside, did 2 propane fuel pumps, a propane fuel pump and an E450 shuttle bus 6.8 and a F650 6.8, and we were able to work on it outside. Luckily, we didn't have to. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been snowing, could have been raining. Had to tow that thing in, which is a pain in the butt, man. But it worked out. Could have been worse today. Worked out. We were able to work outside. Fresh air. Didn't have to tow any vehicles around. Didn't have to touch anything more than once. Because I hate. This is what I had to do. So the vehicle that came in now the job is already preset. I'm doing a job that's warranted for Roush. This has got a Roush fuel system on it. So all the rigmarole that I'm doing to get paid 2.8, I'm getting paid 2.8 hours to do all this, okay? So paint the picture, shuttle bus, E450 shuttle bus, airport commuter bus, so you got, freaking shuttle bus, right? Thing's got double AC, double alternator, and propane fuel system. So go out to it, says it cranks but won't start. All right. Grab the computer, go out to it. It's got no electrical power. Got to walk back in, got to get the battery jump box. Go back out to the vehicle, jump it. Doesn't start. Put the Roush scan tool on it, pull codes, see if it's fuel system code, key it up, do some more tests. It winds up starting. Now it's got the axle out. So I'm like, all right, well, let's shut it off before we, is not going to be able to run no more. Go back in, figure out the sockets and stuff I'm going to need for the axle shaft on the right side. Get that in. This thing just started up. Go back to it, crank it up. Now it won't start. Like, oh my goodness. So in order to get the propane fuel pumps out, you have to take a shield off the propane tank in the rear. But because the people who are driving the bus are going up steep inclines like this, the whole bottom side of this shield and the bolts that hold it on are all. So you can't put a socket on these bolts now. So I can't do this out in the lot. I'm going to have to tow this vehicle into the shop to undo the bar to get the shield off, to then tow it back outside for it to sit. So I can order the fuel pumps, go back outside, do the repair on my back, all for 2.8. Like, you serious? That is a time where you wish you weren't flat rate. But I suppose in a perfect world, Roush thinks that 2.8 is sufficient. Noah?
No comment on Roush.
Noah? Bubbly to you, baby. I don't know. I woke up last night so thirsty. You know how, like, when you guys, sometimes you might, you wake up in the middle of the night and just thirstier than bath. I came out here and I had to get an ice cold bubbly, and I downed like a half the can. I was so thirsty, and it just hit the spot. And then I went back to bed. It was great. Let's see these comments here. Anyone know why Raptor won't? If you rely on dealership to make, it's a low road. All the fleet guys are running their codes and trying to save. If you can do it half with the dealer, yep, that's messed up. You should think that the dealers would take into consideration of where the vehicle would be would be flat rate. Yeah. Average Ford Tech, that's straight up. I'm a fleet owner. Think of all the transits on the road that are out of warranty. If you can really good at doing EGR coolers and set up a Google campaign with a DTC, yeah, I don't know about all that, dude. I need a turbo install and a new high pressure fuel pump. What's the damage? Average Ford Tech, email me. You can see it on my about page. Running out. If you're too slow and flat rate, you won't make it. You need to have speed, correct, and accurate diag, correct. You'll be making money. I flag around 90 to 145 hours. Wow. I'm glad for you, my friend.
But that's only if you have the workload. If you don't have the workload, that's why it doesn't pay off. A lot of the guys, I would flag 110, 120 hours easy every 2 weeks whenever the workload was here. But when COVID hit and everything started going downhill, we couldn't get parts. We couldn't stay busy with all the airbag recalls and all that. I'd slam stuff like crazy. Flat rate was the way to go. You could kill stuff flat rate. But if you don't have the work and things are crazy like it is right now, all the other guys that are union that are making hourly wages and stuff like that are guaranteed 35, 40 hours a week. It's part of their guarantee package, and they're going to get paid if they're in that facility. As soon as they get there and they clock in, they're getting paid. Flat rate guys, they ain't getting paid. There is no guarantee. If you don't have a union or something set up with your company, you're humping it. That's why the flat rate guys, a lot of people will say flat rate guys rush things too quick because they're trying to make money because they're not guaranteed money. You know, there might be some truth to that sometimes. Me, I'll go without before I have to rush things and things like that. But definitely made more money, and I feel more comfortable being hourly with a guarantee than I do now. The only reason I do what I do now is because I make $40 an hour. And flat rate guys, I've noticed, I can't speak for everybody, but flat rate guys in the automotive field that I've met typically make a couple dollars more an hour. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but that's just my experience. So I love flat rate, but I'd much rather be hourly.
Yep, yep, yep. Here in Central California, minimum wage is 28, but I hear you, boss. COVID destroys overall, most definitely. Currently a master tech at a different manufacturer. Would it be possible to jump shops and become a Ford diesel tech? I mean, yeah, dude. Um, uh, I mean, obviously, change and acclimating to your new surroundings, and I mean, you know how to read a workshop manual, big deal. But finding out how the warranty and the labor ops and all that. I mean, every manufacturer is going to have that, so I guess it'd be maybe seamless. I don't know where you're coming from, but we have some specialty tools that sometimes the shop does or sometimes does not have. I know Rich and I have our own special tools in our box that we continuously hold on to that are ours because when we need to have them, we need them now. We don't have time to go for a search and rescue mission through the shop and everybody's toolbox on where this tool lies. Then no. So this guy says he gets base pay plus commission on anything over 40 hours. If you're thinking of going independent, ask for this. Hourly all day, pay me for your downtime. Jose, appreciate you. Flat rate with the guarantee is the way to go. I second that. I just want to get paid for the time I have into my job, plus a good wage and benefits. That's not hard to ask for. That's not unreasonable. Would I enter as an apprentice or a flat rate tech for diesel specifically? Well, that's going to be first a question. So if I was the manager you're going to apply for, I'd want to know um, how long you've been doing this. What kind of tools do you have? I mean, not what kind of, like, not Fisher Price. Like, do you got a little roll around cart? You got a big ass toolbox? Not saying that you have all the tools means you're going to know how to use them, but I'm just saying, like, what's your setup? Are you walking in with a little toolbox? Um, I'd obviously want to know if you're state certified or if you hold any certifications from your manufacturer. I know being a Ford certified technician, CPs, myself, Ford Boss Me, we all have to hold Ford certified credentials. Like there are web courses we have to take. There are classrooms that we have to sit down and actually take part in to get certifications for electrification, for diesel theory and operation. There's a lot of stuff that we have to do. And it would be of your best interest to find a dealer who would take you in and get you the training you need because it's only going to benefit them having another senior technician. Let's say you've gotten 15, 20 years in the business. You know what lefty loosey is. You put the triangle in the triangle hole and the circle hole in the circle hole, then you probably are going to be a good fit. But if you're going to come in walking in with a play school toolbox set and you're swinging your keychain around on its tether, I'm probably going to say you have to hit the road, dude.
Some of the best guys I've ever seen in the field come from other manufacturers we have a guy here that's an independent guy. He came from working at independent, like the buy here, pay here dealers, but some of the bigger ones and stuff to get like all kinds of stuff from auction and everything else. And he's pulling heads on 6.0s and doing 7.3s and 6.7s and everything else. And he came right in the door running. He has 3 little small toolboxes with all his big heavy duty stuff, and he ain't got no big giant $15,000-$20,000 box or anything like that. And he rocks it. If you got it, you got it, and the dealer will see that, and you'll get paid accordingly. So you can go from one as a master tech from another to a dealer, but they want to see that you can work. Now, if you've worked on just Chrysler products your entire life, and then you go to a Ford dealer and you think you're just going to walk right into the door and understand everything that's going on and not have to ask for help, it ain't going to happen that way. And they may have to adjust pay until You don't have to ask so many questions and have guys like me or A-Rod get you through the computer systems and show you how to reprogram 8 pins and do all the recalls and stuff like that. But a lot of guys that have it, they just have it. They can go anywhere.
You either got it or you don't. We've had 12 people in the past 13 months fired or can't keep up. Wow. Wow. Fred says, go ahead.
After getting all the certifications, everything for Ford, it's hard for me to go anywhere but another Ford dealer. You know, after all that hard work you go through it.
I agree. It's like you're what do you call it? Not involved. You're I can't think of the word I want to say. You're already too committed. Like you've gotten everything is Ford. Everything you got is tailored to Ford. Your scan tools, your tools, your way of thinking, your go-to stuff. Let me get the wiring diagram. Everything that you have is Ford. And to make that change, like that one guy was, contemplating. I mean, yeah, it's a big choice.
And right now, technicians are in such need. If you've got tools and you've got two working hands and you're not lazy, most dealers will actually give you a chance. They're looking for good guys right now that they can fill spots and stuff. A lot of the more reputable dealers and stuff that pay top dollar, that take care of their employees and stuff like that, they might be more full. I don't know if you guys have positions available, A-Rod, but here we filled up. I'm sure if there was like another trans guy or something came along, they would be more than willing to make accommodations. But whenever we found some good guys that were coming from other dealers or independent shops that were getting treated wrong, and they figured out the pay here and how our owner takes care of the technicians, people wanted on board immediately. So we got a great group of guys here with a lot of experience and stuff. So they're always looking. Dealers are always looking for guys that are willing to work.
Work. It's like any job. Once you know it, it's hard to leave that field. That's Bob, your channel moderator. He stopped through. Welcome, Bob. Shit, even if you're lazy nowadays, you'll keep much out. They're just looking to, yeah.
That's true.
Sorry, top tip program. Yeah, it's really sad to see what's going on in these times. Whether you're like reeling, DS, dealing with landscaping, yard maintenance, property management. My boy Joel, he's dealing with the same stuff. It's real pain in the butt.
One guy said, seems like Big Daddy Ford is trying to retain technicians because they started the top tech program, but in reality, they should just pay better for warranty. There's a lot of truth to that. I got hit up on TikTok today by a guy when I was showing that new 19 2-liter EcoBoost that we have down here at the end of the shop. And this guy came from he was working at a Ford dealer and then went to a Chrysler dealer, and he absolutely hated Chrysler. And he said, I want to go back to Ford. And his dealer in his auto group wouldn't move him back to Ford because he was doing so good at Chrysler. And he said, well, then I'll find a dealer that will put me back on Ford stuff because I don't want to work on this Chrysler stuff at all. It's a nightmare. Well, we hired him, and he's been a great asset to the company. He's really fast, really young, shorter, very energetic. Seems like he's very athletic and stuff. So the guy moves around really good, and he knows his stuff. And we just put a brand new motor in an Edge, and he test drove the vehicle, gave it back to the customer. The customer made it 10 miles, and it's already pissing coolant out the exhaust. And just put a new motor in it today. And there was a guy on TikTok when I did a short video on it. He said, what, you guys just drive it around the block and give it to the customer? And I had to make a rebuttal video to explain a little bit of warranty stuff to him. I said, I understand you work in the independent diesel field and you can spend half the day driving a vehicle and stuff like that, but we can't afford to do that. Under warranty, when the job's done, they only pay you so long to be on that vehicle once you're done to test drive it and get it back to the customer. We can't put 50 miles or 100 miles or 150 miles on a vehicle. Warranty doesn't pay that. And a lot of people need to understand, just like that guy, no comment said, there's only so much time we can spend on a vehicle and not chew up our own time to get that vehicle back to the customer. And that's what they need to do better. They need to do better on accommodating that warranty time, especially for specific jobs like that, where you got to put more time and more miles on a vehicle to make sure it's right before you return it to the customer. And they don't do that.
Or you know, tell the customer they're going to have to pay for that.
And then they get pissed.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Pretty much.
Andrew, everybody sees you with the Milwaukee. Everybody's going to assume you got a duty.
He says peace.
Yeah,
All right,
something-
what's up?
Have you had to take your truck to the dealer at all?
Have not,
Okay.
but I did
okay.
have to take my wife's GMC today, Yukon. I had an issue, loaded on the trailer, took it in. Got a call this morning. They said, "Oh, the transmission, it's toast. $6,000 to fix it. Blah blah blah. There's only one left in the country. All this kind of shit." So, by the time we make logistics, figure all this out, she calls them back, basically just saying, "Hey, how long do I need a rental car for?" They said, "Oh, actually, we mixed up your cars. It's just a fuel filter. $250. Come get it. It's done." So that's the only issue I've had lately with cars. Truck's running great. Trying to run down the fuel to get my S&B tank installed.
Word. Zachary Young says, I am flat rate and honestly prefer that. I do too, but sometimes it's just a pain in the I'll pay cash and bring beer.
Lux said GM cut hours on doing lifters in the new body Tahoes in half, even though the Silverado shares the same engine. 0.3 hours less for Tahoes versus Silverados. And we just had the service manager from the GM dealer next door, and I'm telling him about all these new sounds that we're hearing in the Super Duties, and we're trying to do everything that we can to get to the bottom of it, and how much time we're eating up trying to diagnose and make the customers happy. And he said, "Oh, you ain't got to worry about it, man." And he said, "You know, you guys think you got it bad. Look at all these Tahoes and Silverados and these vehicles that we're pulling heads on and lifters and cams and everything else." He said it's a nightmare right now, brand new 22s. And he said, same thing that he said. They'll start cutting time once guys start getting used to it, and guys will get pissed off and not get paid for their time that they're putting into the vehicles. And it's just sad. It's not just a Ford thing. It's across the board. All the manufacturers end up doing stuff like that.
I'm a Nissan tech and the CVTs suck. So yeah, job security.
As a business
man.
owner myself, it just seems backwards that they don't take better care of you guys. I know my local Ford dealership, they have a huge issue keeping staff. I'm assuming for these same reasons you guys are outlining. Without good employees, you can't have a successful business. So it just seems backwards.
I agree.
Maybe antiquated. Maybe there's a better way to do it. When I hit the Powerball, then we can get together and
By all
I'll buy a
means.
shop. You guys run it.
Count me in.
Hell yeah.
I know my arthritics would way more like Floridian weather than Michigan.
Fred, you see what Fred said? Has the dealer said anything about you guys
Oh yeah.
about the new law starting after January 1st and what's going to be well, yeah. I mean, the state won a case against the manufacturers. It got passed through the legislative reviews and stuff, and they looked at what the technicians were getting paid versus what the customers were paying, and the state was in favor for it. It was almost by a landslide, and then the governor signed the bill and stuff saying that the manufacturers in the state of Illinois from now on cannot keep doing that to technicians, that if the customer pays 30 hours for an overhaul, the manufacturer in this state, if they want to sell cars and be in business, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to pay 30 hours.
Wow.
So we will be the first state to enact something like that, but let's just see how they circumvent the system. I mean, then you start having CSBs and TSBs and SSMs and everything else. And once it becomes something not normal and put into a special message as a special procedure, you can't equate that to a standard labor time anymore. And they may find ways to work around that just so they don't have
OTA.
Yeah.
There'd be a ton of OTAs.
Mm-hmm. Going to be forced. You come out in the morning and your truck's going to be reprogrammed.
But how do they do that when there's so many OTAs out there and the customer has to schedule that to happen? And if the truck's not, online long enough to have it happen, and they keep canceling or they don't schedule the appointment with the OTA schedule, then, it's going to be a nightmare because not everybody's going to pay attention to that. Not everybody's going to adhere to a schedule on a Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the evening to leave a vehicle running. They're going to forget, and it's going to be a high failure rate.
Mm-hmm.
And then how modules are. All you guys know exactly how that is when you start programming and then you shut a system off and you start it back up and you shut it off and you start it back up and you shut it off. Eventually traffic jams and communication errors and everything else, who knows what's going to happen. The OTA will pause and resume. I don't know that it's going to be that easy. How many times have we started programming something and then all of a sudden modules not communicating online and have to go through and reset, clear everything out, and then pick back up programming? I mean, it'd be nice if you were correct.
There are two ways of the OTA. There's one is like our cell phones, where they'll just update in the background, and then there's one like IDS where it'll shut the module down, which will require the schedule.
Bye-bye gravy. That's why I went to a truck shop. This guy, here's a good question. Should we be worried with the electric vehicle future in this industry? Seems like they are way more reliable and a lot less moving parts. Look at the Mach-E worship, and everything is remove and replace.
Well, somebody messaged me today and said that they didn't make it 500 miles on their brand new Mach-E last month, and now they had to have the whole entire battery pack replaced.
The whole thing?
Yeah, they had to have the battery pack dropped out of it, and the dealer had to install a new battery pack and everything in it. So I don't know that it's as reliable as everybody's thinking right now. And some of the information that I've gathered, it's really not.
What happens? What's this guy said?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the electric vehicle yet. I'm okay with hybrid, but I'm not okay with full electric.
I thought about getting that new because they kept, what was that, Cody, that old school, that the 2.5 Atkinson's design in the Maverick. I thought about getting one just because we run that system for so long, and it's been such a great setup overall. Guys in the field that have been around for a while, they actually don't mind it at all, and it's a pretty reliable setup. So I'm wondering how that's going to all hold up. A lot of people ask me questions on that hybrid setup in the Maverick, and all I could do is tell them, look, Forbes have They've had years and years of experience with that system, so I don't think there's going to be too many problems with that.
Yeah, I have the little brother to that, the 2.3 Atkinson in the
Yeah.
Mariner that we have, and that thing, it's got 180,000 miles on it, not a tick or anything.
Yeah.
Engine, I mean, only thing engine wise that I've done to it is put a water pump on it, and it was just starting to seep. So I was like, yeah, time to do this before it gets bad. I've had to do more front end work than anything to it.
I've never had to do any kind of extensive repairs other than I think I put out a video last month or the month before where one of the hybrids in like the Escape setup or the Mariner or something like that, where there's the TSB out for those two cooling fans that go out
The
in
Met-
the back.
Oh, the cooling fans, not the Mets pump. I've
Yeah.
done a bunch of those Mets pumps, but
Oh yeah, me too.
Aaron seed the Mariner, that thing's clean for 180,000 miles on it.
Clean.
I mean, it looks like a showroom truck besides the headliner because, Florida.
Anyone here old enough to remember the 90s when all we had was head gaskets and 30Ks and 60Ks?
You talk to some of the old timers and they'll tell you about stuff like that. Guys that have been in the field for a while, and then guys that have got out, they'll tell you, man, I used to do them head gaskets all the time. They used to pay, I don't know, 10 hours to do it. And I'm doing it 4 or 5 because I've done so many of them. And they tell you about the Horace head gaskets or whatever it was and everything else. They loved it, but it ain't like that no more.
S&B in tank or fuel tank.
Both.
Yeah, anything S&B. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay,
Come on,
you're
people.
going in timeout.
All right, hey guys, just chill with the political talk stuff. That stuff
Yeah,
can get us in
dude.
trouble. Certain things are. I'm shadow banned right now from a few things that I said political on my channel, and I made a huge mistake. Let's not do that to A-Rod's channel. Please be respectful here.
Back on track here. What we have here in the shop today, or this week rather, a 2017 MKZ. Rich, have you ever done catalytic converters on an MKZ?
3.5, right?
3.0.
3.0. I don't think I have. No, I haven't. I've only done catalytic converters on some of the 4-cylinder stuff or 3.5, 3.7, but that's it.
By the hour is the only way to go. Very interesting comments tonight. Absolute micron rating, actual micron rating or something. The S&B upper fuel filter? S&B, are you sure?
I'm thinking he's talking about S and H and S.
Are we talking about the filtering capability?
Yeah.
Because H and S has already fixed that problem from what I can understand.
Because I think it's now 4 micron absolute.
Isn't that what they sent you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they make upper fuel filter.
No comment. I just did an intermediate shaft assembly O-ring on the 4x4 Explorer setup where the intermediate shaft goes through the oil pan and the half shaft connects to the assembly. Yeah, it'll be back in about 5,000 to 10,000 miles.
Look at that face. It'll be back. Trust me.
I promise you that. The O-ring
Uh.
that they give you is not an updated O-ring from the old one, so it doesn't fit in the housing properly. So that's why when you go to, it's called a, um, what the hell is that called? A-Rod, Cody, that clutch disconnect. Shit.
Mm,
I forget the proper name for it or whatever, but that O-ring that sits in there that they press into the front of that oil pan, it's not any beefier than the one that came from the factory. It's the same exact size, so it doesn't seal. It'll come right back. It'll be back. We're doing the same ones that we did 5,000 and 10,000 miles ago because they don't seal properly. And Ford knows that. There's no update to it though. You just got to reseal it and it'll come back.
Where was this guy? This guy, Wright Diesel Services, asks about the Banks Derringer. I've been in 2 trucks that have had this contraption on. A gentleman yesterday, not yesterday, yesterday? Yes, yesterday. If you guys watched the short from yesterday where I was showing you different types of wheel weights that you can use. This gentleman had a 17 dually with about 23,000 miles on it. And behind, if you were to take the wheel off, behind the wheel, there was it almost looked like a dog bowl, went on over the hub, and it had probably a hot dog's thickness round 2 all the way around this hub, and there was sand like BBs or stuff in the tube. And as soon as you hit 20 miles an hour, this stuff would, balance itself out and stay put to where it's supposed to be. And this gentleman didn't tell me right off the rip that he had this on, or maybe he did and I just didn't realize what he was talking about. But I was pulling out of the shop and I'm like, all I did was take these 2 front tires off. How did I hit the brakes or the backing plate? And that's what it sounded like, was this, this, like if you hit the backing plate when you're doing brakes and it's hitting the rotor. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'd go to give it, some more throttle to back out. And it seemed like it was throttle same time I hit the throttle. I'm like, this thing got a boost leak or something? Like, what the hell is going on? And then it dawned on me, like, oh, it's this balancing centrifugal, or was it called centrifugal? Yeah, centromatics thing. So I had made a video, showing you guys, because you can have sticky weights on, you can have the dynamic, have the clip-on weights, or if you want, you can even put these bags, these balancing balls, actually in the tire, or have what this guy's got mounted right to the hub. So like the whole hub, the wheel, the tire. I guess it would be what would that be, Rich? Like just hub balancing, maybe?
I mean, somebody recently brought that up. He said he runs it on his Super Duties, his fleet of them. He ended up putting a self-balancing sand, what do you call it, sand O-rings or something, or whatever the hell it was inside there. And he said, I love them. I don't have to ever get my stuff balanced anymore. As soon as I start getting up to speed, it self-balances, and I don't have to worry about wheel weights or any of that stuff. But he also runs he also runs a set of, I've never seen this before. He shared it with me. He said, you can even find them for your passenger cars. He said, I have on all my Super Duties, I have run flats. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, I got it's a weighted tabled clamp system inside my rim that it goes around my rim, and then I tighten it up to my rim to whatever the spec is. And it's got a center ring that if I ever have a flat, it'll actually stop at that center ring, and it acts as a run flat, and I don't blow my tires out completely and chew holes and stuff up in them, and I can actually get safely somewhere without having to pull off to the side of the road.
Interesting. This guy says, so I had a code P0069 for a barometric and map sensor. My voltages were a little off from what I know. those voltages need to match. Otherwise, throws cold. I replace map sensor thinking plugged with soot. Did you disconnect the banks and reevaluate? Were you still getting that barrel map correlation code? Work great for a month, but no code now. Just boost pressure max. Next step is to check see who the harness the banks provides. I'd be curious to see. I know the gentleman who has it on his Tremor actually has the app on his phone, and you can see like little bar graphs of LED lights as how hard he hits the accelerator, or how much it's compensating for the accelerator input. Those bean bags are magic.
So is that's on Super Duty? He said that P0069 was.
I
I had that happen a few years ago on a bunch of Super Duties that were coming in, and that map that sensor was plugged up with soot, and then I think it was wasn't there like an SSM or a TSB or something that came out on that if that code was present to check this or check this, and it basically had you end up replacing that sensor, and I ended up having to go through 3 of them before I got a good one on one guy's truck.
Now, my number one issue for all Illuma duties, not really the 11 through 16s because of the CAC duct, but if you have an Illuma duty and you're having some type of air barrow map, MAF, EGR, even a P0170, a fuel trim correlation, or at max trim or something, you guys need to go out and you need to go look right now at your cold side charge air cooler duct. I've made a video discussing the code P00 David Bravo, and that mass airflow sensor code. Do not replace your mass airflow sensor. Check the charge air cooler duct first. There is a very high probability that duct may have a slit in it. If that duct has a slit, you are going to be losing boost pressure, and those values for those sensors are all going to be skewed. So you're going to have a correlation code. You're going to have mass airflow sensor too high code, or too low code, depending on where the failure was. It's something that I've been seeing, and it's worth a shot going to pop your hood and check out your cold side charge air cooler duct to see if it does in fact have a slit. And then if it does, you can upgrade and not get the Ford one. The HSM one I really liked. I liked the coating of the inside of the silicone pipe. Worked well. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And that-
Yes, it is.
And if you're getting that code, someone programmed your PCM wrong, more than likely.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, always hit yes on the
I
collar kit
know.
question. That's the easiest way to make sure it's done right.
Gosh, my back is itching so bad right here at the top. I can't get it. Well, here's something cool. If you guys haven't noticed already, you guys can see my back wall, and over here in the shop, I like street signs and license plates. My wife surprised me and got me some cool plates of ones which I do not have. She just got me a German farm plate. Pretty cool. Roger from Australia, South Australia. We got a license plate. I got 2 Alaskas. That's pretty cool. They're going to go up next to my Hawaii plate that one of my subscribers sent to me. So that's pretty cool to have the non-attaching states. Got an Arizona. This reminds me of the 1.3 million mile truck video. I need to get him on and the other gentleman to interview, because I really want you guys to hear from the owner's mouth what he was doing to that truck. If you guys go in the comment section to those shorts, you guys are blowing up the comments with what he's doing, and just riffraff going back and forth. I got a Joe Montana.
You need to get a Virginia "Don't Tread on Me" plate.
Oh, Maine. Aruba. Anybody going to Aruba? We got a Mexico. Thought this one was cool. Polar bear. If anybody's got any cool plates that you want to send to PTT, hey, I'm always up for plates. What was this one? I forgot what this one was. S. Oh, that's Sweden. I got a Ireland and a Ghana. That's kind of cool. A Ghana. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. I got these sitting over here, so that's why I was grabbing them. I like license plates. I don't know why.
I'll have a Florida one for you here in a year or so.
I only have one Florida one.
I've got one coming up. My truck's plate is going to be expired this year, or next year, I should say, 2020.
Andrew, you just reminded me. I have your shirt was sent out, so be looking in the mail. I may have actually sent you the tracking number. I can't remember. I sent a bunch of them out, so I did not know.
So what's going on with this big old truck that you sent me a picture of today?
That
With
that
a tow
was-
truck in your
I
shop.
I really wish I could have videoed that. If you guys haven't seen my shop and the door you have to go in, I've filmed a couple of few times going through the door. Now, mind, I'm gonna describe the vehicle. Well, here, actually, let me show it to you. Maybe you guys can just see, and I don't have to paint the picture. It was a big rig, big setup. Let's see if you guys can check this out. This was in my shop today, okay? So backing up through the door, had to do a little slalom. Rich, you know what that looks like. You know where we were. Ford Boss Me, get out, bro. You silly. Get out of here. Oh, brother, we love you, man. That was fun. You're too much, brother. That vehicle, I don't even know what to say. That vehicle, we tore down today, and we got metal glitter paint, y'all. What do we know about metal glitter paint? What do we know about metal glitter paint?
Fuel system. How was the fuel quality?
Fuel quality was very watery. Watery enough for me to see in the bottom of the fuel tank.
Oh,
It looks like looked like
Customer
a bunch
pay.
of pebbles. It looked like customer pay. It looked like pebbles were in the bottom of the fuel tank. Not good. That's very right. Not good. It's kind of what I was thinking, but I let Junior pull the metering valve out, and he knows what we're looking for. He knows what the next step we were going to do if we did not see metal glitter paint, and the presence of the water is probably going to tell the story. And if I were to remove, which I did not yet, but if I were to remove, no, it will not, unfortunately.
Well, you can still do a balance test with the injectors.
Cylinder PIDs.
Injector cylinder PIDs. The injector PIDs, like I did on that one truck for that lady.
Yeah, but not like IDS power balance.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Take the PCV valve out to see if there's rust on that other side of the O-ring or that metal collar ring thingy. Very important to run an additive in the fuel, and its thing has 118,000 miles on it. It's a tow truck. I don't know if this thing is ran with a fuel additive, if they're changing fuel filters, but this would be something easily saved with if you had that S&S kit on. Just another piece of insurance to help. Yeah, so you have a crappy C4, a CP4. If you are willingly knowing that you have this potential for this on your truck, why wouldn't you want to have it's a filter. Put another filter. It's on the return side. And you add something to the high pressure fuel pump. Big deal. It's a little spacer plate. Big deal. It's a filter. You can actually see the fuel in the bowl. That was the biggest selling point for me, is I could see the fuel in the bowl. That's huge.
It's
huge. Diesel fuel is number one. The fact that I can see it, send it. There should be no reason why you guys wouldn't want that on your vehicle either. That's especially for the 6.7, all model year 6.7. If you got the C4, hey, get it.
It'd be cool if H&S did a filter with the plastic bottom on it too. The Raycor filters or whatever they are on the lower kit. Like International runs on the Max Force 6.4s.
So what is Rich doing now? I see him. Oh, he's putting it into flood mode. Aha. I see. Oh, looks like he's got the tough book out. He's got IADS. Gonna do my SNS this weekend. That's what's up.
No, one of the guys asked about he wants to know if you can do power balance with ForceScan. So I'm gonna pull it up on an 18 right now and just show all the options on what's actually available instead of talking about it. Show it.
Heck yeah. Frickin' heck yeah. SNS. I just heard somebody crying about SP earlier. I have no sympathy. Do your guys' dealerships allow you to take ideas home for some side work? LOL. Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's like instant fire at the dealer I worked at.
I'm sure you can cross-reference with Cat, but I don't know if microns are even close. I really wish I could find a reliable source for these Raycor filters. I've contacted Luke. I reached out to Justin. I was over at the place by my work. Nobody can get these filters. I don't know what the deal is. As a water drain on the filters. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Get ready to wait. Yeah. The guy said he waited for 3 weeks and was going round and round with the misses, and she just kept hanging them out, and he still didn't get his part, and eventually he was refunded, but it was like pulling hair, he said, trying to get those two over there to even do anything.
Isn't that SPE's normal?
Daddy Diesel. Let me see if I can find that. Daddy Diesel. Where is it? Where is it? Maybe it was downloaded. Downloaded. Oh, look, it's Missy. Daddy Diesel. Look at Missy. Look at that Missy. Raycore.
Yeah, I'm
Where
not
are
seeing
they?
I'm not seeing an option for power balance. I see you can reset like trans adaptive strategies and stuff like that, but it doesn't bring up any option for power balance at all.
You should be able to see cylinder accels on the gas trucks in the PID section, and on the diesels you can look at the injector PIDs.
So this is what I'm looking at for under service procedures. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
com-
Oh, that looks clear.
that's the only options for PCM and just this basic 5-liter. You'd think it'd be able to do it for power balance, but that's all it shows under PCM. Unless, like Cody said, there's another way you go into
Go
it.
into
I
the
don't-
PID. Go into the PIDs.
So that would mean I would have to go here, and then I think you can
Bring
pull
up PCM and bring up cylinder acceleration PIDs.
set up all gauges on the bottom.
That one. And it should be cylinder accel. You could type in the cert in the filter at the top.
Cylinder.
Acceleration value.
Yeah, it says so cylinders 1 through 8. So then you have to, once you pick it up, you got to transfer it over, and then
You should be able to just double click on it too.
yeah, sure. We're learning as we go, boys.
You can also put it in. You can also put the
video.
injectors in and cancel injectors with it too. It's a pretty cool system. I use it on a 5.4 to diagnose timing chains and to diagnose the timing chains, make sure they were out of time. And they were. Guy sold a truck, of course. As soon as I said chains, he's like, yeah, I'm selling it.
I'm getting rid of it.
Dude, that thing was a rust bucket. It blew out the front differential too. So it's like, yeah.
2018 5.0, 30,000 on it. Okay, got the looks the same interior as mine.
Actually, I was wrong. It's only 25,000 miles.
Oh shoot! And it's already got that bad of oil consumption.
Here's the thing. I pulled that blue filter over there on top of my box off of it, and it looks like a generic STP Fram style filter, just recanned. And it's one of those super low quality filters, and you do not want to run one of those on this truck.
Yeah, I seen that trouble. I actually showed A-Rod that video. He couldn't believe it.
I believed it. Oh yeah, I saw that too. That was crazy. That was crazy.
That's pretty cool how you can sit
No
here and read.
way. Oh yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's just as good as a balance test, in my opinion.
You know what? Already, just running this Ford filter on this thing, with fresh oil, the motor sounds better. It just overall it sounds better. When you first started up, it had a lot of noise on startup. Like it.
What was
really,
that blue filter you pulled off?
It was it looks like an STP like remake with that plastic cage in the center, and then it's got like the filter or that fiber style end from like a Fram filter.
You know
Looks
what
like
I've been seeing lately is a lot of our patrol vehicles, if they haven't had time to get it serviced at our store and they've had in Valvoline, there have been a lot of cars coming in where these aftermarket facilities are not putting the correct size oil filter on. A car that should have a 500 is coming in with a 910. Or trucks that should have 820s have 910 spun on. Like people are not paying attention, and the filter capacities are significantly different. The filters are different sizes. I don't know if you guys are taking it. If you're not doing it yourself, and you're not doing it at the dealer, and you're having some mom and pop store do it, not Daddy Diesels, for sure, make sure that they're putting the right oil filter on, and they're not just putting any oil filter on that just, because it fits. Oh, I have not used an EGR cleaning machine.
It's not approved by Ford.
Yeah.
They say it damages the SCR.
This guy says he puts 910s on 6.7s. Wow. That's really good. I'll have to try that. Wow. I can't imagine if people were going to yell at me for pre-filling a 6.7 filter, what they're going to say if putting the 910 on the 6.7. I mean, forget it, right?
as long as you can hit it with brake cleaners, you're good, right?
Oh, yeah, just soak it down.
Hey, you don't want to make nobody mad with that brake clean now.
Now. Simmer
Okay.
down.
It's gonna ruin that gasket on top, man. You're gonna mess up all that motorcraft paint on there. It's gonna lose like 10 horsepower. You can't have that.
Simmer down. Yeah, same thing, Fred. I do the same thing. Watching TikTok or something? Yes, they are. They're making a TikTok when they're doing it. 910 life.
I put 910s on Erica's Saturn because it crossed with the Ford filter to the 910s. I was like, sweet. I bought a case of 910s for my mom's Escape and Erica's Saturns. So I could just run one filter. I really wish I would have made a screen recording of that one truck that I diagnosed, that number 4 injector, I think it was.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
I mean, you could see it clear as day from that picture I sent you. It's like, yep, that injector's toast.
Mm-hmm. Rich, you got any 6.7s in the shop right now? Is your diesel guy got any?
Let's go down here and look.
On the move.
I know he just got done with the ARP studs on this 6.0, and he ended up pulling the heads, studding everything, new gaskets, all that good jazz. And then what ended up happening is the lifter stayed pumped up. Was it pumped up? Yeah, it was pumped up and it didn't collapse. So when he went to go fire the engine up for the first time and it wouldn't collapse, it shot up and bent the push rod and cracked the rocker arm. And we called one of the diesel guys that we know that, because he knows how to do them, but it's been a while. And he was like, is this normal? And the diesel guy was like, every once in a while, something like that will happen. And unfortunately, it's, sometimes it'll bite you. And you ended up having to put new rocker arm on it and 2 new push rods in it, then got it all back together and stuff after you pull off like the oil manifold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it ran great after that, no problems at all. So, and then spun he said what he should have did before he even tried to fire that thing up is he should have got up underneath it and put like a breaker bar or something, or a big ratchet or like a 1/2-inch drive, and just spun the engine over a few times and got things moving and just kind of worked, those lifters a little bit, get things moving and stuff in there, and then fired it up. And he said that's probably where he went wrong. What are we doing here? Looks like we have stuff apart on this one. This is a 6-7.
17 through 19. Got the camper, the topper. The camper top.
Oh.
We just got the tools laying out and everything, huh? Don't even put them away. Uh-oh.
He's got the cooler off this one.
Oh, he's drilling. Is he drilling?
Yeah, I think he might have one of those exhaust studs that breaks sometimes on that tube that goes to the cooler.
Tell that guy tomorrow that we need to video chat, and I'm gonna enlighten him. He's not gonna have to do that no more.
Where the hell he's drilling at? Oh, down there.
Yeah. Oh,
He needs that
down
Pro
there.
Max kit.
See what he's got going on here. I'm gonna put everything back.
I just took that off today. Yeah, yeah. There's another pipe, another longer pipe that is supposed to go. Yeah, that's it right there. That dirty.
Oh,
you know
right there.
What?
Right down there. He broke. Looks like he got one of them out.
And he's doing it with the intake on too. Wow.
He's found a lot of shortcuts without pulling this intake off. And he's gotten really good at maneuvering around and stuff like that without having to pull a bunch of stuff off like most guys will. So he's been really kind of getting into the Super Duty stuff a lot.
Tell him.
Yeah, it looks like he's got them both drilled out.
Tell him he doesn't need to take that pipe off.
Yeah, I don't know what his reason is. He's down here in his own hole. So every once in a while I'll get thrown a Super Duty, but then back on exhaust manifolds and an electrical crisis and programming. So I don't get to sit on this stuff like he does. What is he doing here? Oh, he was livid today. He was like, how in the hell are we a Super Duty, a repair shop as well? And we got all these Super Duties lined up outside and we can't even keep in stock rotors for a 450. He's like, you give me the shoes. We have the shoes in stock, stuff that we typically don't need, but we don't even have rotors for it. He was pissed.
Come on.
And then he got this new tool because you know how it is getting these rims off of here when they corrode on here.
You got the dually buddy?
Well, is it that rod that's got the two blocks on both sides?
Yeah.
And he'll pop them off. But I was looking at that. There was another diesel tech on TikTok, and there was a big 2-jaw puller that goes inside the rim, and then on the opposite side of this puller, it has a chain that goes through and another chain that goes through, and it's got a hydraulic jack in the center, and you jack the hydraulic jack, and it grabs the rim, but it's so violent when it pops off. The rim came flying off the vehicle like 2.5, 3 feet before it stopped.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What? My guys, thank you, PTT, everyone involved. I own my own shop. My guys and I keep up with all the updates and really appreciate your content. Get these jobs done the right way. Good job, guys. Thanks for sharing. MT4206, you are the man, bro. We appreciate you, dude. That's awesome. Thank you.
I wonder if this is the one where something back here was leaking this thing. Like when he pulled it, he realized the cooler needed to be, I don't know if it needed to be changed, but he found something in this assembly that was leaking that was not right. And I forget what it was. Damn, I don't remember what it was now.
Oh, he's got the Sure Shot cam. Oh, dang. Look at that.
Yeah. We got to keep those around here.
Dang. Yeah, got the cooler.
I think a couple things that were leaking on this truck. I don't know if it was the cooler that was leaking and the end of that housing that was leaking on the cooler. But he found a couple things that were just not normal, and I forget what it was. Hell, I don't know. I'm not down here. There's that
we got to get you a meet and greet down there too, man.
Yeah, people are asking about it now.
Are they?
Really yeah, they really want to show up here bad.
Have you approached management or anything?
I mean, I'm sure they'll be all for it. They kind of really supportive of me. But at the same time, I wouldn't be opposed to, throwing $500 or $600 at like a Holiday Inn conference room and just renting
true
it out and
that.
have everybody get together. So
True.
it is what it is. Make it happen either way.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going
This-
to try to throw it at Ford's garage for the banquet halls.
Do you have
This
a
is
Ford's
one-
garage out by you?
I have no idea. You know what that is, right?
Oh.
It's burned up.
Oh.
It's only got 20,000 miles on it and everything just shifting
you-
hard up.
Did you talk to Vito?
No.
So he said that his boy got his transmission replaced, or he knows somebody who's
Oh.
got their trans replaced.
The message that I
noise?
received, I got a message from Alex and Vito, but I haven't, today was kind of crazy with all of a sudden subscribers dropping all these cars off and then me being backed up. I get to work and I've got 6 ROs sitting on my box. So I didn't have time to get back to anybody, but I did see the message talking about they already know somebody that's dealing with that same metallic grinding sound on downshift that they're going to get their transmissions replaced or rebuilt or something like that. He would give me feedback when they found out what the outcome was.
The closest Ford's garage would be in Indiana to Ford Boss Me. They got them in Brandon, Florida, Cape Coral, Countryside, Dearborn, Ernesto, Fort Myers, Kissimmee, Lakeland, Noblesville, Indiana, Orlando, Sarasota, St. Augustine, St. Pete, Wellington, Wesley Chapel, and West Chase.
Ryan asked if this was his car right here. Yes, buddy, that is your car.
Oh, no way. Is that that dude? That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's Ryan in the chat. This is his car. And I was, I get to looking at the car and stuff, and we're talking about these sounds and stuff. It's kind of funny how people, they're really picky about their cars and they want to have everything perfect and stuff like that. And he was explaining all these sounds, and I get it in the shop and I start it up and I'm like, oh, that's just normal 462 valve sounds. He's all worried about it. I go to the trunk and I see a trunk full of parts and melting oil pump and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that's normal. we got an exhaust manifold leak, but everything. I had this thing running for about 45 minutes earlier, checking everything, and this thing is sound, man. This is it's really, really a nice ride. It's in great shape, and I mean, it's up to you on whether or not you want me to go timing chains and guides and all that other stuff. But really, most of that stuff we're not even going to need. This exhaust manifold right here is leaking a little bit on the bottom side, but overall, this thing's dry. It looks like somebody put a new front cover on it. They already put new valve covers and stuff on it. All the pulleys and stuff are brand new on the front of the motor. It's really responsive on the throttle. There's no lag or anything like that. I mean, it just seems, I sprayed the whole intake manifold to make sure there were no leaks or anything. I couldn't find anything. It's car's in great shape.
Another Panther platform. Oh, did they get rid of that toolbox?
What do you mean?
That
Oh,
one
that-
that he was selling?
Yeah, that $20-some thousand toolbox. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
he came and picked it up.
Damn. Oh yeah, hit it. Gotta love them plates. All right, fellas, we'll call it a night here. I appreciate all of you, especially the guys in the chat. Ford Boss Me, sweet little love. MT4206, brother, if you're here, I'd like to give you a hug. Appreciate you. Each of you guys tuning in every week. Reeland's got everything up on the mainstream podcast apps for you guys to check out, download, listen at your leisure. MT Force 206. If you can hear me, if you're still listening, why don't you email me? I'd like to send you out some swag. Friday, make sure to stay tuned. Check out what we have for you guys. Mr. Andrew, I like your Milwaukee shirt, but you're going to look better wearing mine shortly. Thanks so much. If you guys got any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Ford Boss Me's channel, CP Reelan. Everybody, we'll catch you later.